in the Netherlands. Marcel Dorff, Big Marcel 24. What is up, my friend?
What's up, man? Good to see that. How are you doing? Looking forward to breaking this card down, man. First Fight Island card. Should be good, right?
Yeah, big event coming up this weekend, UFC 251. Very excited about it. Want to at least, before we move any further, let the people know I'll have to be taking a step back. Won't be able to co-host this show with my good friend over here anymore. Way too much going on with the personal life, with my legitimate career that I get paid for. So it's unfortunate because I love talking the fights with Marcel, but I had to make the decision that's best for myself, and did so. But hopefully my friend will still respond to my instant messages and WhatsApp messages when I try to talk fights with him, because there's no one better to talk shop with. So I'm sorry to leave you hanging, but we'll have one last great show here today, and we'll get out of it.
I'll think about it, cunt.
But before we dive in to 251, some funny stuff going on in the world of mixed martial arts. Unfortunately, over the weekend we lost Khabib Nurmagomedov's father, Abulmanap, I believe is how you pronounce his name.
Abdulmanap.
Yeah. Condolences out to the Nurmagomedov family and the gym that he was a part of for many years. I know a lot of the fighters were very saddened to hear about the loss in COVID-19, obviously a very serious topic across the globe right now. That being said, Big Marcel, some sort of a miniature Twitter war broke out over the weekend. Care to elaborate a little bit on what happened?
What do you exactly mean, Max?
So, I think a lot of the MMA media outlets out there did a good job of documenting what had happened. A few of them, we won't say any names right off the top, but rather than documenting what had happened, which was, Abulmanap's Nurmagomedov's passing due to COVID-19, instead took a different approach and used the name of Conor McGregor and his social media condolences as the headline. And I think that rubbed many people the wrong way, because then you're taking away from actually paying respects to the man. Rather, you are trying to generate more casual fan interest by tying in Conor McGregor, who has nothing to do with this situation.
I agree, man. I agree. So, I put out a tweet about it. And the most, how do you say that? There were several websites who did that. And if you are smart, you're not going to reply to it or just keep in a normal conversation,
Yeah.
But you had one person who, I'm not gonna say her name, Photo Amy 33. She is she went crazy to me I said I find it kind of filthy when you post stuff like that and you try to generate clicks out of Conor McGregor's name. That's what I basically said. And she's like, "Oh, you calling me filthy and I have to feed my family." I mean, I didn't even said anything about your family, man. I mean, if I see your family, I'll buy you a meal. If you can't buy it, I don't care. But I mean, what the hell? And I didn't mean anything. I didn't mean anything wrong. And then she blocked me. So I made a picture from it and I tweeted about it. It's like great conversation. Thank you very much, and very classy of yours. I kind of went crazy, man. I mean, people people from the media reach out to me somewhere like, I don't really agree with your statement, but at least you were classy about it. You didn't say anything bad, and I'm not going to say any names, but I mean, I actually got much back up for it. And I had the feeling like Amy got a lot of hate for it. And I was like, it's not my mistake, man. I didn't really do anything wrong. I mean, people choose a side and people chose the right side, I think. Of course, I think it's the right side. So, what can I do, man? The funny thing is, 1 hour later or something, she posted something on her Twitter. Somebody told me, and I was like, ask me anything. So one guy is like, unblock Marcel. And she is like, no, I don't need that in my life. And she blocked him. That was funny to me. That's crazy. But
Real mature.
Yeah, man,
yeah, you didn't do anything to to truly like point the finger at anybody. The fact that she took it that way and then took it to the next level and then told you to fuck off is just completely classless. And I was one of those that voiced my opinion on your behalf on Twitter because, you couldn't.
Yeah, but yeah, we won't say her name, Photo Amy 33. But I mean, what can we do,
And let's put
right?
it this
I
way: you're
mean,
not the first
it's
one that
close. It's a close case.
has had some issues with her and interactions on social media. She tends to do that a lot to some people that she doesn't agree with. Very mature, very
I mean,
classy.
yeah, man. I mean, just if you don't agree with it, get a civilized discussion or don't just scroll. I scroll a lot if I don't agree with something. So if I should agree on everything, or should I argue about everything I see, I can argue all day, man. Why should I do that, man? I mean, have a fun life, I guess.
Not even worth any more headaches. But
No, but it was fun to talk about
it
for
was
for
it was
some wrestling.
enjoyable. It was pretty entertaining. But let's look ahead here. Or actually, I'm sorry. Before we look ahead, we got to look back at UFC Vegas 4 a couple weeks back. Quite a fun night of action. We both tied at going 6-4 on the evening. You did get the fight of the night bonus correctly with the fight of the year candidate between Dustin Poirier and Dan Hooker. You still think Dan Hooker's not a top 5 guy?
Um, he's around there, yeah. Definitely,
Slowly
he's
but sure.
definitely around there. No, definitely, he's definitely
Yeah.
around there, man. But I don't see him. I don't see him to going to the next level. Although I know you disagree with me, but I think this is his top, in my opinion, and this is very good.
How about Brendan Allen, Kyle Dawkins? What a war that was. We predicted it. I
Yeah,
actually picked that for fight of the night. I think 9 times out of 10 it wins. Have you don't get
100%.
a fight of the year candidate at the top of the bill.
Yeah,
But
that was a great fight. I mean, yeah.
looking at the standings, 111-71 to 104-78 for me. You got 13 bonuses to my 8, 10 of 16 on your underdog picks. I'm 6 of 16. 14 of 16 locks for me, 11 of 16 locks for you. We both hit on that last time. I got Mike Perry, you had Yusuf Zolal. So that being said, I need to cover ground for 7. So be prepared for some out there picks and taking the opposite of what you're taking just for the heck of it and trying to catch up. So be prepared as we look ahead for UFC 251 this weekend. Before we do that, just want to remind everyone to follow the Loudmouth MMA Podcast Network. Got some great content, including MMA Takeover, Not Safe for Work, the UFC recap show with Keith Schillen and Ben Duffy, and then Shooting the Shit with Riley Contact. That's a fun show. Be sure to check all those out wherever you get your podcasts. Big Marcel, anything you want to get out in the open before we look ahead to this weekend's 251 fight card?
Not really, man. I have no, actually not.
All good. All right. Well, bout order courtesy of our good friend MMA Form Guide. As always, follow him on Twitter. Gives you all the great times and all the fight cards and what times they start, correct bout order, way ahead of any official announcement. So that's your go-to for anything and all information fight cards. This weekend, UFC 251 going down July 12th, 2020 at the Yas Island in Abu Dhabi. That is in the United Arab Emirates. Kicking things off in the early prelims, we got a fight at bantamweight between Martin Day and Davy Grant. Day is the -170 favorite. Dangerous Davy Grant at +150. Some nearly identical records here. Grant is 34. He's been in the UFC since 2013, but only 5 fights in that stretch. He's 2-3. Does hold a win over Marlon Chito Vera, and then last time out got a split decision over Gregory Popov in Russia in November. Day, the Hawaiian, 31. Really turned it around since that 2017 Dana White Contender Series loss to Jamie Alvarez. He's won 3 straight. Made his UFC debut late 2018 against Pingyuan Liu in China. Lost a split, although many thought he won. Was screwed out of a win there. Had fights with Benito Lopez, Chris Gutierrez, and Randy Costa, all scrapped since then. Marcel, Martin Day is the favorite. Davy Grant, the underdog. How do you see this one playing out?
Yeah, so it's a pretty close fight, I think, man. Like you said, Martin Day He got screwed in China, but China is the new Brazil the last 2 years. So I'm not surprised by that. Davy Grant, English guy, was on the Ultimate Fighter, actually got into the finals of the Ultimate Fighter, losing to Chris Holdsworth. After that, going 2-2 in the UFC with his recent win over Grigory Popov was a split decision. I think it was unanimous. Should have been unanimous. Was supposed to fight Louis Smolka, but that got cancelled due to the Corona shit. Yeah, very close fight. I think will definitely be a decision here, but I'm taking Martin Day to get his first UFC win here.
Right. Well, in that case, I was a little bit of a lean there, but you know what? Davy Grant turning things around out of England. He's been in camp for a long time. Give me dangerous Davy Grant to get it done. Another decision. First time in his UFC career he wins back-to-back fights. Calling it right here. All right.
You're going like the MMA junkie curtain jerker guy on their picks, going everything opposite everybody else does.
I don't even know.
You never saw that?
No.
I don't even know. Also know, but the guy on the bottom of MMA junkie picks does always the opposite what the guy on the above does.
Is it an actual person or is it like they're taking the opposite of the fans? Oh, okay.
No, it's an actual person.
Okay. Women's bantamweights. Well, I'm not going to do that for everyone because I think there's one play I'm absolutely not taking, but we'll see. Bantamweights: Vanessa Mello and Carol Hossa. Hossa is the -240 favorite. Vanessa Mello the +200 underdog. It's Brazil battling Brazil on Fight Island. Hossa is 25. She had 4 fights with Julia Avila fall through. Julia Avila wasn't meant to be, I guess. Worse luck than Tony Khabib. 1-0 in the UFC, took a split as an underdog from Laura Procopio. Vanessa Mello, meanwhile, 10-7 as a pro, 0-2 in the UFC thus far, losses to Irene Aldana and Tracy Cortez. Hossa, big favorite at -240, Mello +200. Marcel, how do you see this one going?
Yeah, Carol Hossa. I mean, not related to Charles Hossa, but Max probably thinks she is. Yeah, she does pretty well in the UFC debut. I think should have been unanimous decision. She won a split decision against Lara Procopio or countrywoman. I think she's a training partner of Jessica Andrade, right?
Yeah.
Carol Hossa. Yeah. Vanessa Mello, not very impressive so far in the UFC, but lost to Aldana. I'm pretty much got out-grappled by Tracy Cortez. Got a win on her record against Molly McCann, but that's some years back. I'm taking Carl Rosa here, man. I would be crazy not to. I think she gets it done via unanimous decision.
Let's see here. I'm just trying to calculate if I can take that as a pick and still be okay on the rest of them. All right. I'll stick with Rosa as well. Unanimous decision. That was a tough one. All right. Flyweights on deck. Zhalgas Zhamagulov. Tried to do that my best I could against Julian Paiva. The 14-ranked Paiva is the -175 favorite. Zhamagulov is the +155 underdog. He is the former Fight Night's global flyweight champion. His nickname is Jaco. He's 13-3 as a pro, a 4-fight win streak of all decisions. Meanwhile, Paiva, 19-3, only 24 years old, and recently picked up his first UFC win. That was a knockout of Mark De La Rosa in Rio Rancho in February. We both called that one to the T. I know you're big on Julian Paiva, but I know you're also excited a lot of this new flyweight talent pool coming in as all these new crop of talents here. So I want to get your thoughts on this fight. Go ahead, break this thing down.
Yeah, Zhalgas, he's a good fighter from Kazakhstan, man. He did very well in the Fight Night's global organization, champion over there. But gotta be honest, his last 2 wins against Tagir Lambekov and Ali Bagotinov, kind of 50-50, man. Could have been for the other guys as well. Julian Paiva, everybody knows what I think about him. Got robbed against Kai Kara France, then lost to Bontorin by that great cut over his eyebrow, and then a great knockout over Mark De La Rosa. I think Paiva gets it done, man. Second round TKO for the Brazilian. I think Paiva is a guy who was low in the rankings, but should have been much higher. I think I see him top 8 in my opinion. So yeah.
Yeah, he's a good talent. But give me the newcomer, Zalgas, decision. He's got his last 4 wins via decision. Got to continue this train here.
He wants so badly to keep up with me in the standings. So, oh my
Hey,
god.
got to throw the Hail Mary here. Headlining the early prelims is a heavyweight fight between Maxim Grishin and Marcin Tybura. Grishin, the -115 favorite, quote unquote. Marcin Tybura at -105. Maxim Grishin in the UFC, I think this is far overdue. You and I can agree on that. Maximus is 37-2. 30 wins, 7 losses, and 2, not 37 wins and 2 losses. Technically unbeaten in his last 7. His last loss in his last 19 fights was to rising stud Magomed Ankalaev. Performed very well in the PFL. 4 wins and 2 draws. Did not advance in the tournament because of their format. Tybura just re-signed another UFC deal, which was a bit surprising. But last time out, did snap a 2-fight skid and 4 or 5 overall losses, taking a decision win from Sergey Spivak. Marcel, excited to see Maxim Grishin in the UFC?
Yeah, definitely, man. But I wonder what took the UFC so long. I mean, they can give a contract to Marcos Mariano 6-4 because he's Anderson Silva's training partner, but they can't give contracts to Maxime Grishin, to Alexander Chablis, Eduard Vartanyan. What the hell is wrong with you guys? But okay, Maxime Grishin making his debut, was a former heavyweight but went to light heavyweight like a few years ago. He has a win over Alexander Volkov in the beginning of his career. Very good fighter. 2 times PFL tournament fighter. Lost via draw, actually, and jury's decision, or judge's decision, after 2 rounds. So, yeah, he also got a win over Jordan Johnson over 3 rounds, by the way. Former Ahmad champion. Then we have Marcin Tybura, like you said, he won against Spivak last time out. He pretty much keep taking him down or keep holding him on the ground. Not the greatest fight to see, but before that, only 1 win in 5 fights. I'm taking Grishin here, man. Besides the difference in weight, Tybura will be much bigger, I think. I think Grishin is a much better fighter overall. I'm taking Maxim Grishin to finish this fight via first round KO.
Me too. I gotta favor Grishin here. I think he lands a home for that big right hand and puts him away. So Maxim Grishin TKO in the first round, and I might even sprinkle a little bit of action on that one too, at -115. All right, going to the prelims here, the official prelims, a lightweight fight between Leonardo Santos and Roman Bogatov. Santos is the -175 favorite, Bogatov at +155. And man, when you think about Leo Santos, this guy, it seems like his career is just gone in front of his eyes, waiting on the sidelines his entire duration in the UFC. He's 17-3-1. Technically, he's on an 11-fight unbeaten streak. He is 6-0-1 in the UFC. His last loss came in 2009, unless you count the Santiago Ponzinibbio loss in the Ultimate Fighter, which was an exhibition fight. He knocked out Marcel's former podcast co-host Stevie Braveheart Ray last June, just over 2 minutes after 2.5 years on the shelf. This guy holds wins over Rocco Martin and Kevin Lee as well. Bogatov, meanwhile, perfect 10-0. He's 29 out of Russia, was the M1 Challenge lightweight champion. Major step up in competition here. And actually, when talking this week, apparently he was, I did not know, he was lined up to fight Christos Hiagos on a different UFC card originally. So different opponent, but this fight has been in the works for a while. Big Marcel, Roman Bogatov, and Leo Santos. Give us your thoughts on this lightweight tilt.
Yeah, trademark MMA. I'm really looking forward to this fight. I think it's a difficult fight to pick, to be honest, man. I think Bogatov is very strong on the ground, but Leonardo Santos' Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is very good as well, Santos also showed his stand-up in his last fight against Stevie Ray. He knocked him out very hard. Man, it's a hard fight for me to pick this one, man. I think if I go on my gut feeling, I'm taking Leonardo Santos, taking a decision.
Man, tough fight to pick, but give me the newcomer, Bogatov. Split decision, going his way. All right, featherweights on deck here. Makwan Amirkhani taking on Danny Henry. This is a Finland versus Scotland matchup here. Mr. Finland, Amirkhani, 15-4, 5-2 record in the UFC. He did suffer a TKO to Shane Burgos last time out, but no shame in that. We know how talented he is. Prior to that, he had won back-to-back fights. Henry's 12-3, also coming off a loss where he was finished by Dan Ige, but that was all the way back in March 2019. The UFC record now sitting at 2-1. Did have fights with Danilo Belluardo, Mike Davis, and Peter Barrett, all scrapped in the meantime since that loss to Dan Ige. So some tough luck with making it to the octagon. Amirkhani is, I believe, the minus 190 favorite. Danny Henry at plus 155. Marcel, how do you see this one playing out?
You're going first with this one, Punk.
Well, I want to hear who you're taking because I could probably go either way.
Yeah, you're going first in this one. We are taking.
All right, fine. Amirkhani should be the more talented guy, but don't sleep on Henry. Why don't we take the hatchet, find a hole for a right hand and a guillotine? Danny Henry. Submission, second round.
Yeah, I honestly got the same feeling here, man. I think, no, I'm
Really?
just kidding. I'm taking
Okay.
I'm going with Makwan Amirkhani. I'm not going to be a bitch here. I think Makwan will figure a limb, and I think he wins in the second round via submission.
All right. This should be a really interesting welterweight fight here. Elizeu Zaleski dos Santos plus 110 on the betting line against Muslim Salikov at minus 130. Elizeu Capoeira, 22-6. He's 33, 8-2 in the UFC, coming off a win over Alexei Kunchenko in March. That was a great back and forth battle. Marcel picked that one correctly. I did not. Meanwhile, Salikov, the king of Kung Fu, is 36. He is 16-2, 3-1 in the UFC. Dropped his UFC debut to Alex Garcia, has won 3 straight since. Was supposed to fight Nico Price in April, but the coronavirus has shut that fight down. Now we see him in a Kung Fu versus Capoeira matchup here. Marcel Salikov at minus 130, Zaleski plus 110. What do you think is going to happen?
This is a great fight, man. But the thing here is, like, both guys have some great stand-up, but Salikov's ground game is not impressive, man. And Zaleski has a good ground game, in my opinion, but doesn't use it that often.
Cristiano Marcelo CM Systems, black belt, I believe.
Yeah, you're right. Very hard fight to pick. It depends. If they keep standing, I favor Salikov, but I think Zaleski is a little bit smarter since this Li Jingliang fight. So I pick Zaleski to win this fight via a second round submission.
Yeah, tough fight to call here, but give me Muslim Salikov to land a big right hand and put him away, just like he did against Nordine Taleb. After this card, I will tell you exactly which ones I have butchered to make my official picks and which ones were originally my picks. How about that?
How about that?
All right, headlining the prelims, we got one of the most anticipated UFC debuts in a long time. Number 7 ranked light heavyweight Volkan Ozdemir is the minus 160 favorite against the debuting Yuri Prokaska at plus 140. Prokaska is the former Ryzen heavyweight champion. Finally, we see him in the UFC. He's 27 years old, 26-3. He hails out of the Czech Republic. He is on an 11-fight win streak with 10 finishes. His last loss came at the end of 2015 to King Mo Lawal, which he later avenged. Meanwhile, Volkan Ozdemir, no time, is 17-4. He has won back-to-back fights over Alex Rakic and Ilir Latifi, now sitting at 5-3 in the UFC. I mean, Marcel, we know Volkan can take a punch. He's really seemed to have turned himself into a well-rounded martial artist. Does he take that tactical game plan approach here, or does he end up getting caught and we see the rise of Yuri Prokaska in his UFC debut?
It's a beautiful setup from you, but I want your pick first.
Oh, man. Let's see. All right. This is the last one I'm picking first. Give me Volkan Ozdemir by decision.
So this is a very hard fight to pick. I think Prohaska has definitely the power to knock Volkan out in the first round. But man, Volkan looked pretty good in his last two fights. I think, man, the Rakic fight was 50-50, but the Latifi fight he looked very good in. And in my opinion, he actually also won the Dominic Reyes fight, so it should have been maybe on a 3-fight winning streak. Prohaska, like you said, rising guy, very good. But man, 50-50 fight here. I take Ozdemir via decision.
Damn it, Marcel. All right. Whatever. We go
I'm
to the
just
main.
honest.
Yeah, I know. We go to the main card here, and we kick things off at women's flyweight division, a fight between Paige Van Zant and the number 14 ranked strawweight, as Marcel already starts to blush, Amanda Ribas. Amanda Ribas is the whopping minus 900 favorite over the plus 600 Paige Van Zant. Ribas opened up at minus 400. That just means everybody's betting her side. And I'll throw it out there. I have too. We'll start with Paige Van Zant. She is 26 years old, 8-4 as a pro. The UFC record stands at 5-3. She is coming off a win in early 2019 over Rachel Ostovich, who Marcel believes 1,000% deserves to be in the UFC. We know she's had some grievances with the UFC, and this is the last fight on her deal. I fully expect her to go join her husband, Austin Vanderford, in Bellator after this, if she does continue fighting, or she may just do the Instagram thing. Meanwhile, Ribas, 9-1, perfect 3-0 in the UFC, all dominant performances, seems like the real deal. And as we know, my co-host is a huge fan of Amanda Ribas. So, Marcel, take it away. Ribas and Paige Van Zant, give us your thoughts.
Yeah, fight is at flyweight, right?
Yeah.
Paige Van Zandt, coming off that win against Rachel Ostovich, but it's like 1.5 years ago when she fought. And Ostovich, yeah, I don't want to be a dick, but she really doesn't belong in the UFC. Before that, two losses against Jessica Rose Clark and Michelle Watterson. If you actually look at Paige's record, her only really good win is against Felice Herrick, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think the same thing too.
Yeah. Amanda Ribas came in the UFC against Emily Whitmire after almost 2 years suspension, which she got cleared from 1 month before the suspension ended. So she basically was 2 years on the sidelines. She only did jiu-jitsu tournaments and that kind of stuff. Won against Whitmire. Then she defeated Mackenzie Dern, which I didn't call, but my co-host did call that fight, right? After that, Randa Marcos win. Man, I would be crazy not to pick Amanda Ribas here, you know. I mean, she looked very good so far. Number 14 in the ranking. I think she should be a little bit higher, but that's just me. Amanda Ribas, I don't know, man, if she gets Paige out of there. I'm taking a unanimous decision and decisive unanimous decision win.
Ribas all day. You're right. It would be crazy not to pick her. Dominant unanimous decision, I think, if she doesn't find a way to snatch the neck. But before we move on, Marcel, we are broadcasting here to the Loudmouth MMA Podcast Network. You know, you're a fan of Ribas. The floor is yours, man. Here's your chance. Shoot your shot. Tell her what you think, man. Tell her what's up. You guys are huge MMA fanatics. Her dad is named Marcelo, right? Her brother also has a name similar to yours. It's just fate, and you guys belong together. Take this time. Let's hear it, man. Well, what do you have to say to her if she's listening?
You're an absolute nutcase, man. That's what I have to say. Leave the girl alone, let her fight. All good.
After her fight, Amanda Ribas, find your way to the Netherlands. Big Marcel will take you on a nice date out to dinner. You guys can chat MMA all night long. He's a gentleman. You know, you're not going to find anyone better in Brazil than this man right here. There, I shot it for you.
Thanks, brother. I appreciate it.
I want some credit if you guys end up getting married. All right. Second fight on the main card is a championship rematch. Well, a rematch of a championship fight, I should say. The number 2 ranked women's strawweight Rose Namajunas is the minus 210 favorite against the number 1 ranked Jessica Andrade at plus 175. Former champs colliding here. Doug Rose Former champion dropped the belt to Andrade in May 2019 after a slam knocked her unconscious. A lot of people say she was in control of that fight prior, and that's evidenced by Rose being a pretty big favorite heading into this rematch. Andrade, meanwhile, 28 years old as well, 20-7 as a pro. 4-fight win streak was snapped by champion Weili Zhang in China last August, was finished in under a minute by the challenger. Zhang lost the belt there. Marcel Namajunas and Andrade, how do you see the rematch playing out?
She wasn't in charge of the fight. She was de-fucking-destroying her, man, until she got dumped on the head. It was an amazing performance by Rose in the first round and even the beginning of the second round. But then she got dumped on their head and she got knocked out. Yeah, I mean, and Andrade in her most recent fight got absolutely destroyed by Weili Zhang within a minute.
Mm-hmm.
So
41
yeah,
seconds.
I say Tuck Rose. Yeah, Tuck Rose. I'm all Rose Namajunas in this one. I think she gets this one back. Unanimous decision by being too strong over 3 rounds.
You know, it just takes one shot to change everything, and Jessica Andrade proves it last time. That's all she's going to need, and that's what she's going to land. Andrade, another knockout, second round.
You know, I almost believe you, but I don't.
All right, well, we go to the men's side for a vacant UFC Bantamweight Championship fight. Title on the line here, so 5 rounds. The number 3 ranked Piotr Jan at minus 220, taking on the number 6 ranked Jose Aldo at plus 180. The former featherweight king, Jose Aldo, 28-6, but he gets the shot at the vacant title despite coming off back-to-back losses to Alex Volkanovski and Marlon Moraes. Overall, the UFC record stands at 10-5, but still considered one of the best featherweights of all time. Jan, 14-1 out of Tiger Muay Thai, a perfect 6-0 in the UFC. December, he had a TKO win over Uriah Faber. Originally lined up to face Moraes. Instead, he gets a title fight opposite Aldo. Everyone seems to be behind this guy, Piotr Jan. Big Marcel, are you behind him, or does Aldo stand a chance to get it done?
Yeah, man, I love some of these ideas on Twitter, like saying like Piotr Jan is only hype and he's not that good and this and that. I mean, those are the same idiots that saying Sean O'Malley is the best bantamweight in the world. So shut the fuck up. Piotr Jan, great fighter, was already a fan of his at ACB. He looked good so far, man, in the octagon, man. I think his only fight where we had difficulties was actually against John Dodson when he got briefly knocked down, but he pretty much still won the whole fight, you know?
Yeah.
But that's how he fights, man. He gets hit a lot as well, and he loves to get knocked down and go back up. That's a little bit his style, you know? Jose Aldo, who doesn't like the guy, man? He's a legend. He's still the featherweight GOAT, in my opinion. I don't give a fuck what everybody else says. He lost his last 2 fights. I think the Marlon Moraes fight, in my opinion, he won that fight, but I think people differ about it. That's okay. Maybe if your name is Amy, you're not okay to differ about it, but I differ about it. So I think Aldo definitely can give him a good fight, man. I don't think it's an easy fight for Piotr Jan like many people maybe think. I think Aldo can definitely give him a very difficult fight. Maybe even can tag him, can win the fight. But, man, I have to go with Piotr Jan here. He has the future here. He has the complete set to win this one. And, man, we want to see Piotr Jan fighting against Aljamain Sterling, man. So we have to see this fight. Piotr Jan by, I think, a TKO late in the 4th round. I think Aldo will go very deep in this fight.
Here's the thing, Jan, he's the future. I want to see that Sterling fight too, but he leaves himself open, and if you get clipped by Aldo, he's not going to let you off the hook. Jose Aldo finds a way, gets it done, wins the UFC Bantamweight Championship. Aldo in a TKO in the 2nd round.
Let me do a subtitle here for Max. You're going for Piotr Jan, so I have to take another pick. I'm just saying something, and I'm going with Jose Aldo because you took Piotr Jan.
I tell you, I got to find – I can't catch you in the bonuses. I can't catch you in the underdogs. I got to find a way to at least catch you in the regular standings and take 2 of 4 because I'm going to win the locks, but got to tie it up somehow. All right. Featherweight title fight here on deck. The champion, Alexander the Hulk Volkanovski, minus 235. He takes on Max Holloway plus 195. Volkanovski out of City Kickboxing is 21-1, perfect 8-0 in the UFC, similar to who we'll see at the top of the bill. Kamaru Usman has not lost since 2013. Defeated Holloway for the title in December. He is Holloway, meanwhile, 28, 21-5 as a pro, 17-4 at featherweight, though, in the UFC. 2-2 in his last 4. Wins over Frankie Edgar and Brian Ortega, but losses to Dustin Poirier and the aforementioned Volkanovski. Volkanovski, the odds were pretty much flip-flopped in the first fight. Now Volkanovski, the bigger favorite, has earned his way to the top. Big Marcel City Kickboxing team that you've shorted in many times in the past, but you're starting to come around, How do you think this rematch plays out?
You're going first in your pick, and I'm going to write down my pick here so you know I'm not cheating.
Okay.
So you're going first.
I'm taking Holloway to recapture his belt. I think the wake-up call has happened. He's going to answer back. The volume of striking is going to be there. He's going to get it done. Max Holloway, decision.
Okay. So what I had.
Oh, God.
I'm just kidding, man. I just wrote that for the second time.
Oh, man.
So I think Volkanovski looked really good in this last fight against Max. Really used the low kicks very well. In my opinion, he won 4 rounds to 1. I think he will repeat that. I still think Volkanovski will retain the belt. So I'm taking Alexander Volkanovski. Oh, man, I had you there.
That was a good one for those that, obviously we're not on video for when people listen to it, but Marcel put up a sign that said Max, and then instead, because he wrote on both sides, it was truly Volkanovski. All right. Championship main event, the third title fight here. This one for the welterweight title, Kamaru Usman, the champion at minus 280. He takes on the late notice replacement, the number 3 ranked Jorge Gamebred Masvidal at plus 240. Originally, Usman lined up against teammate Gilbert Burns. Now he turns his attention to Masvidal on about 2 weeks' notice, maybe a little less. The champ is 16-1. Has not lost since 2013 when Bruce Leroy's brother Jose submitted him in his second pro fight. He's 11-0 in the UFC, won the title from Tyron Woodley, then defended it against Colby Covington in December. I believe he did a majority of this camp in Colorado at Elevation, working alongside Justin Gaethje, because they was going to be matched up against Burns, so they obviously have the same home gym. Street Jesus, Jorge Masvidal, major vet of the sport, 35-13, but on a 3-fight win streak with all finishes. Darren Till, Ben Askren, Nate Diaz, American top team through and through. In an interview this week, Dustin Poirier said that Masvidal has been in camp this whole time. People are speculating whether he has or whether he hasn't, but going to be a tough challenge. Short notice, flying across the world, taking on Usman. Marcel, and Still, and new main event. Break it down.
So, yeah, by the way, I just read that Mike Brown has tested positive for COVID-19.
I saw that too.
So let's hope he is okay and doesn't ever fuck everything up, man, because many people from American top team on this card. So, yeah, let's see what happens. Kamaru Usman, Jorge Masvidal. It's a fight many people wanted to see. It's a fight we're going to see, hopefully, on Saturday. Honestly, I don't see anything else than Usman winning this one. Or Jorge has to land a bomb in the first or second round. But I think Usman will take him down, pretty much grind him out. Maybe finishes him, but I think in 5 rounds, unanimous decision for the Nigerian Nightmare, Kamaruddin Usman, Marty from Nebraska, the man from Sanford MMA, I think, but he's now, like you said, with Trevor Whitman for this camp. But Kamaru Usman, man, the Nigerian Nightmare, getting to 17-1. That's what I think. What do you think, Max Freedman, aka Trademark MMA?
He's a fantastic wrestler. He's executed his game plan over and over again, but this is the best striker he has ever fought. And Masvidal, he gets taken down, but he can get up, and he's going to land a bomb. Masvidal, TKO, and new UFC welterweight champion late in the 3rd round.
Damn, man, I almost believe you.
Hey, we're here. it's time to hand out bonuses. Fight of the night. I'm going first, and we're going. Man, this is tough. Aldo Piotr Jan. Who you going with for fight of the night?
Co-main event.
Volk and Holloway. Good pick. All right, performance of the night. Marcel, hand out two and two backups.
Jan and Christian.
Mine are Aldo, or actually, yeah, Aldo and Masvidal. And my backups are Salikov and Andrade.
My backups, Volkanovski and Ribas.
All right, underdog of the night for me is going to be Max Holloway. You have by default Elizeu Zaleski.
Did I pick all favorites?
Except one, yes.
That's horrible.
Who is your lock of the night, Marcel?
My lock of the night. Amanda Ribas.
Yeah, I got to go the same. I mean, it's just a slam dunk. Maxim Grishin getting some consideration, though. All right, let's recap the breakdown here. First fight of the night. I got to cover 7 fights, and I think we have 9 differences. So hopefully I can make it work. I got Davey Grant. He's got Martin Day. Both taking Carol Hosa over who's her opponent? Vanessa Mella. I got Zagas Zhamagulov. Big Marcel's got Haulian Paiva. Both taking Maxim Grishin over Marcin Tybura. I got Roman Bogatov. He's got Leo Santos. I got Danny Henry. He's got Makwan Amirkhani. I got Muslim Salikov. He's got Elizeu Zaleski. Both have Volkan Ozdemir over Yuri Prokaska. Both have Amanda Hebas, Marcel's future wife, over Paige Van Zant. I have Jessica Andrade. She has Rose Namajunas in their championship rematch. I got Jose Aldo winning the UFC Bantamweight Championship. He has Piotr Jan hoisting the UFC Bantamweight title. I got Max Holloway finding redemption in his UFC Featherweight title rematch. He has Alexander Volkanovski retaining and going 2-0 against Holloway. And in the main event, Marcel is picking Kamaru Usman to retain his UFC Welterweight Championship. I am going with the underdog, Jorge Gamebred Masvidal via TKO to win the UFC Welterweight Championship in an incredible story. The performance of the night bonuses for me are going to Aldo and Masvidal. For Marcel, it's Jan and Maxim Grishin. The backups for me are Muslim Salikov and Jessica Andrade. For him, it is Alexander Volkanovski, not Volkan Ozdemir, and Amanda Hebas. Underdog of the night for me is Max Holloway. For Marcel, it is Elizeu Zaleski. In the lock of the night, we're both going Amanda Hebas. Marcel, what's the plan for this weekend for the big fight card? It's a big one. Got anything special? Special occasion?
No, some drinks.
What time is it at? I didn't look at our good friend MMA Forum Guide's times. It's the same U.S. time, right?
12, 2, and 4 in the a.m. for me. So
12. Wait, so the main card starts at 4 a.m.
Yeah, it's just the same as the normal American pay-per-view.
Oh my goodness, Marcel, better get your nap in.
It's all good, man. I mean, I'm used to it.
Sunday, right? You don't work on Sundays.
No, never. I honestly think I only work in my life 2 or 3 times on a Sunday. So.
Yeah, they don't deliver mail in the U.S. on Sundays.
No, over here as well, not. Also, not on Sunday and not on Monday. So.
Okay. Well, I'll have to let you know what Ben & Jerry's flavor I choose for Sunday or for Saturday. I'm not sure yet. I have some Netflix and chilled in the freezer, but I'm kind of leaning towards thinking maybe getting some cookies and cream. Maybe some mint chocolate chip. I don't know. I'm going to have to go to the store and see what's calling my name.
I'm going with baked Alaska, I think, again.
I'm jealous because you sent me that picture. Now, every time I see in the store, I want to try it.
It's good, man. It's really good.
Let the people know where they can find and follow all your great content.
Why not follow my content on MMADNA.nl, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. You can find my personal account, Big Marcel 24 on Twitter and Instagram.
You can find me Trademark MMA on Twitter. I want to thank Big Marcel because he puts out every week, a couple times a week, an updated list of all the UFC fights that are coming up in one consolidated area that does not exist on the internet. So I know that MMA Twitter fans of the sport really appreciate that. Screw anyone who asks you to update it. You do it on your own time. It's free to the public. They can wait till it's inconvenient for you. So don't be coming at my boy like that, or else you'll be getting some heat from me on Twitter, chirping right back at you.
Yeah, man. Sometimes it's not worth to update if it's only 2 fights, 2 new fights. It doesn't really make sense. So.
Yeah, looking forward to the Contender Series coming up in a few weeks, right?
Yeah, in August, beginning of August.
Yeah, some great fight cards coming up as well. Should be a good rest of the summer. Thanks to everyone for tuning in, and please continue to follow Marcel and all the great content he has. If you're an MMA news outlet, you full-time opening, this is your man right here. Does tons of great work across the MMA DNA platform, podcasting, social media. Is the best in the game. So please continue to support Big Marcel 24 and MMA DNA.
Thanks for that, man. Really nice of you. I wish you all best as well, of course. Although I still think you're a cunt here going, but I wish you all best. We'll definitely talk, man. But maybe we'll have a little bit of a hiatus because I'm really upset you're going. No, I'm just kidding. Wish you all the best. Hope to still be in touch a lot because I really like the conversations all the time. So thanks for being the co-host of mine here. Yeah.
Always, man.
In the future,
friend for life. And before we are done on this planet, we will meet up in person someday.
Yeah, let's arrange that.
All right. Thank you, everyone.